Welcome back to It's Tool Thing. Today I'm doing a video response to one mechanic. Hope everything's working out well for him. He was talking about putting adapters on his air fittings. And I just figured I'd grab out some of my different selection of stuff I got here. But I've been doing this. Actually, one of the old guys, he's actually retired now, turned me on to doing this years ago. Where you just, fortunately for us, our shop will provide the ends at no cost to us, so it makes it pretty nice. You can have the straight with the 45, or you can put one. I got a couple of these here. Or you can put the 45 on there, with the 45 at both different angles. Got another one here. You can also run these just right off the air bib. These are the size of fittings we use in our shop. So if you just need to air something up, don't really care what the pressure is, the tire's really low, just need to get it in the shop or something, you can do that without even having to use the actual air meter. I got a couple different ones, but this is the one I use the most. It's got the regular, it's got the regular gauge thing right there. Seems to work fine. It's not probably super high precision, but for the most part, that's what I use when I'm airing up, and that does work well. I've had no problems with leakage. Not that you couldn't have leakage there. I suppose if you get one that starts leaking, it's time to replace it. But I thought I'd bring some of my other things. Being as I work out in the field a lot, I've got quite a few of these, so that if I'm at a customer's location, when I'm in their shop, instead of having to run my air compressor and drag a line in, I can just adapt to my air tools, or even if I need to bring a hose, an additional hose, I can hook up from their hose. But these are some of the most common ones that I run into. Obviously, I don't need an adapter for mine, and they work pretty well. Like I said, it is nice. The shop will just supply those. They didn't supply the weird ends. I had to pick those up over time, or I should say our non-standard. They just supply our standard ends. I got some more here. Here's some ones that are the universal going the other way. So if I need to air something up that's already got one of these style fittings on it already, I can air up into that. Sometimes some of the buses or trucks have a fitting already installed with a check valve or a shut-off valve on it. And then I have, and most of the guys just run these kind of things, but these are ones I've picked up over the years, leftovers or something. This is for a 1/4-inch air line to fill something up, like a seat or something, air seat or something like that, so you can get to the bolts easier. Especially if you have one that's losing air, you can blast this thing full of air at full throttle and just leave it on there to hopefully keep that seat up while you're dismounting it. Here's another one. Not exactly sure what I did this one for, but it was field expedient, I'm sure. A lot of the big trucks nowadays, they have an extra port for a 1/2-inch line with a plug in it on a quick connect. This is actually my newest one here. I've been borrowing it several times. I said, you got to make one of these adapters to get it to work. And obviously, when you want to plug it, I put, this is your air source, so it'll leak like a sieve. When you first unplug, you got to unplug this on the other end. But you need to unplug this from the truck so you don't lose that valuable air. Usually, you're trying to push something in. This just kind of cobbled up mess of what I could get right then. Once again, expedient. This is a converted high pressure AC valve. A lot of the new Cummins engines actually have one of these style quick connects on their air line coming out of their air compressor. So I've got a couple of these. It's just one of them I want to keep in the shop truck. You can use this once again to air up the truck. If I remember right, it was kind of hard getting this adapter. It was either this one, maybe it was this one that was difficult. One of these was difficult right here. Being the thread is different. It might be this one. I can't remember, to be honest. My parts guy hooked me up. Former parts guy, I guess now he moved along here, unfortunately, a couple years ago. But these work pretty good for airing up those Cummins engines where they already have I think it's usually like the 6.7s or something like that. It's the newer stuff they have in M2s and whatnot. They usually have this, so that works pretty good. And then I have some different ones here. This one actually doesn't have a fitting in it right now. Probably stole it for something else. If you can get to the airline either coming out of the compressor or out of the air dryer or something, usually it's out of the compressor, you can install these, air the truck up, and get it pushed in. Got a fairly decent selection, since a lot of times when I'm at the shop I'll help the guys out, because most of the guys here don't have access to air particularly easy out in the yard. But that's just some of the stuff. This one here I actually missed. I actually modified this one slightly, but it's just an air gauge for checking pressure on tires. You can see it's pretty old. The boot's all swollen. But I've got I think it's number 4 on there fitting, and originally it just had an air check on it, so you could check the pressure. But where I find this handy, and it's not very useful at this point anymore, though I did actually use it here about 6 months ago, checking air modulators on old Allison transmissions by yourself. The trick is you got to get an accurate read of how much pressure, because you can't over pressurize those. They're supposed to have a limiting valve, or they'll blow the end out and leak into the transmission, which can cause overheating problems and fluid loss and stuff like that. But this system here, you have to replace or remove it off the air modulator, but it actually, since it's got this button here, it'll tell you what your max pressure was. So you can go start it up, take it to full throttle, and then come back and look at it. You don't have to have 2 people. So this actually works out pretty good. Though it's less handy these days, unfortunately, or fortunately, I guess, maybe. It's not something we need very often anymore. So that's just a quick look. I thought it'd be interesting. I said he was talking about these units here, about doing that to his thing, and I say go for it. It works out nice. That way you can use the whole thing if you need to be precise, or you can just use that if you need to just air up a tire quickly. This is a Milton, actually, and I'm not that impressed with this thing, to be honest. If I remember right, it always leaks out air in the end, and it actually says on it, do not use with inflator gauge, and I don't know why. Probably because it leaks out the end all the time. Was a pretty nice one that I bought, but I haven't been that impressed with it. But it does get the job done. But I needed this straight access on this side here. Thank you for watching. Please comment down below, like and subscribe. How do you deal with this issue of airing up a truck, or something to push it in? Or am I barking up the wrong tree? Most people watching my videos, are they working on automotive stuff where air's not really a thing as far as for brakes or anything? And as always, have a great day.